especially as musicians and songwriters. But the audience, I mean, we have been around for 10 years, so we still have the older fans that grew up with us. Then there's a lot of younger fans that I think maybe they even think that Girls, Girls, Girls was like our first album. You know, I mean, one time it was funny, there's a knock at my door, and there's these little kids, and they're like 8 years old, and they wanted my autograph, and I was thinking that, like, our first album was out before they were even born, and they can't know about the older stuff. And so our fans are like, you have the new fans and the old fans, so if anything, it's gotten just more spread out, you know, in age-wise.
I guess you're almost veterans now. I mean, you know, bands like Guns N' Roses are like the youngsters. You've been doing it for a lot longer, and probably the only band in that genre that has been for 10 years. Yeah, we're the last ones. It's or the first ones.
Yeah, or the first ones. Yeah, but you know, we're one of the few bands that have stuck together as like the same band members that have you know, that started playing the clubs and have endured, and you know, it's great. You know, we still feel like we're the same four guys. You know, it just seems like yesterday we were just playing clubs in Hollywood. You know, last 10 years just gone by really, really fast.
I mean, just with all the drug stuff. I mean, like sort of Joe Perry and Steven Tyler used to get the shits with each other a lot. I mean, has there ever been any point where you were going to break up?
Yeah, well, during Girls, 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 we almost split up. That was, the drugs had really taken over during that time, and we had to cancel the European leg of Girls, 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 and because it was either, I mean, well, nobody was really hanging out with each other and talking to each other because the drugs were more important. And when we recorded the album Girls, it wasn't like a band thing. I mean, like, I was gone the whole time, and I would just go to the studio just to sing, and for like 2 weeks, then I would split, and it wasn't really, we weren't tight back then. And then when we had to cancel that European leg, it was, you know, we had to make a choice whether it was drugs or it was the band. And when we stopped doing drugs, that's when the four of us got even tighter. And so we're like, you know, been like best friends ever since. It's like when we recorded Dr. Feelgood, all four of us were in the studio the whole time, and it was like a great vibe. It was like recording our first album again.
Yeah, the fact that you went through all that really bad stuff together, did it strengthen your musical relationship, do you reckon, or not?
Yeah, I think so, because like everybody talks to each other now and communicates with each other, and everybody has like studios in their houses, and everybody has like ideas, and everybody calls each other up and says, "Hey man, listen to this, I got this new idea," and then we get into the studio and write songs, and it's a lot of fun now.
What's it like after you've gone through a kind of a dark period in your life to be able to like write and perform a song like, well, the two singles I reckon are really good. Dr. Feelgood with the old ones, Dr. Feelgood and Kickstart My Heart, like really positive, really life-affirming, musically and lyrically. I mean, what's it like being able to have that kind of explosion? It must be like therapy or something after you've had a bad time.
Well, see, we didn't have like a bad time. I mean, we had the Girls, Girls, Girls tour was a lot of fun. It was a really good album. I mean, it wasn't like horrible. It was just, we just weren't tight. We just weren't like a band like we were in the beginning, like the Four Musketeers, you know, and that was the only difference. And but the songs have really always been there. It just that now with Dr. Feelgood, we spent more time on each song instead of writing good songs. Now that there's like great songs coming out, there's like a big difference, you know, rather than saying, "Oh, this song's good enough." You know, we just try and take it one step farther. Even
publicly, like every member of Motley Crue has a separate identity, which is kind of unusual for a band, I reckon. Do you still like believe in the band ethic? I mean, you sort of see what's happening to music at the moment, like it's a singer or guitarist or somebody in a sampler. So, I mean, is that still important for Motley Crue to be like a band?
Well, I mean, we're a band. It's really important to be a band, but like you said, everybody has their own, like, everybody's different. Everybody's so different than each other, but that's what I think really makes the Motley Crue magic. Like, we just did a photo session recently, and looking back at the pictures, we don't even look like we're in the same band.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy has a mohawk now, you know, and we're wearing plaid shorts, and, you know, and I look like a surf bum, and, you know, it's like, who are these guys? But that's like what I think is like the magic of Motley Crue, is that everybody, it's where everybody has like their own, almost like their own fans, like Kiss used to have, like in the 70s and stuff, you know, with like, you know, I like the cat, and I like the demon guy. It's almost like that.
Yeah. That's one thing that I've always liked, especially in recent times, about your band. It's that you tend to, I mean, be more open about the fact that you are getting into styles and stuff publicly, and also with performance. I mean, you know, your stage show's fairly mega. And I just noticed with a lot of other bands, like, I've tried to get a Guns N' Roses interview, but you have to sign a contract before you get one, and they have this image of being really, you know, sort of streetwise and all this kind of stuff. But I suspect that is actually quite manipulated, and I think most bands sort of do that, but you know, Motley seem to be a bit more honest about it, if you see what I mean, a bit more honest about the whole rock and roll thing. Yeah,
well, you know, you can't try too hard, you know, which I think a lot of bands do. It's one thing too, in the beginning of anybody's career, you get caught up in it, in your own press. You know, you start reading your own interviews, and you try to set this image of what you want people to think you are, and then you try to live by that image of you think of yourself, and it's usually not a true image, you know. And a lot of people just get caught up in that, and then they believe it, and then it's stupid. We did that in the very beginning, but right now we're more into the music than anything. And you know, if people like us, and that's fine. If they don't like us, that's fine too. You know, it's we're just a rock band. That's it. You know, just doing what we like. We're just making ourselves happy, and trying to make other people happy too.
A lot of the time when I've interviewed like American metal bands, they seem to have had some experience of like the censorship coming from Middle America. Have you had any problems with that at all?
Not.
Keep playing on those.
You know what? We really don't care. It's like we write the songs for ourselves first, and like we're big rock fans ourselves, so that's why we figure if we like our songs, rock fans will like our songs too. I mean, if we wanted to write songs for the critics, we would, everybody would sound like Bon Jovi or something, and we just don't want to do that. So we really don't care. We really haven't had any problems, because we don't. If anything comes up, we just don't care. If you don't want to stock our record, hey, that's fine. You know, somebody else will. Yeah.
So you wouldn't really get upset by Christian Motley Crue record burnings or anything?
No, I mean, like our new video, Primal Scream, on MTV, they want us to take out the word shit. And we said, no way, we're not going to do that. And so now they play the video, but they like bleep it out and stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
But you'll probably do it on this.
No.
Okay.
No, you can even say the F word.
Ooh, right.
Winning in a tour again.
Well, you know, we just got back from Europe just about a week ago, where we did 7 Monsters of Rock shows, the AC/DC. And that's it. That's all the touring we're doing this year. we're not going to tour Decade of Decadence at all. But we're going right back into the studio next month and start working on the new Motley Crue studio album, which will probably be out in about a year. So we'll probably, hopefully, be back here. I would really hope that we would be back here before the next album comes out, because we're actually really thinking about going back to Europe, like around February, and doing some shows, because we haven't, a lot of places we haven't played in a while, like especially like Australia. We haven't been here in 2 years. Well, about a year and a half, I think. And if we wait till the record's out and stuff, it's going to be like 3 years. So I would really hope that we're going to be back here, next February, March. I hope, but don't hold me to it.